between the building, I guess. So,
So you want to put it where the red triangle is, where it says Preble?
Yes.
oh yeah,
This one, this is the building.
yes,
It's in the
So-
corner now, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is
that's
there is there a building there now?
no,
That's an old trailer they were
Yeah.
in before they built the house.
we had that there while we was building the house.
It's gone.
So where that, sorry, I didn't see the rectangle there, but yeah, so we want to move the building that's currently in the northeast corner down to where that rectangle's at. And then potentially, I guess, build another building off in that northeast corner, but it's more so how Megan has it or whoever has it, sorry, on that, the yellow one for a detached garage, so that we could not have everything in the garage, so two buildings, we just want 10 foot off property line is what we're requesting.
And that would be off of both the north and the east.
Correct.
Yes.
And what's the size of that building?
The red one
The
is,
orange one? Or the yellow one, sorry.
okay, can you,
20 by 36.
20 by 36. Thanks.
20 deep.
Yeah.
And the orange one's how big?
16 by 30.
The yellow building, why can't that be moved closer, I mean, into your property more to give it a 20-foot?
It can, it just kind of crowds anything that we're coming, like, it looks like there's plenty of room there, but when you're at the house, it's like almost like our driveway where we pull into our current garage. Trying to allow more space so that we can go back in the yard instead of just, I guess, crowded. It would be crowded, I guess, in the backyard when you come around. Cause you can kind of look like they used to be old stepping stones, but it's like where that dotted part's at, that, I mean, we're still gonna walk back in the backyard. Obviously, I'll go to that other building, but, minus the stepping stones, but it would just be nice so that everything's kind of, you have a nice backyard and you kind of utilize the whole thing instead of have it hugging the house.
What would the distance by chance be off the corner of your house to the yellow building?
To the corner or to the yellow building?
Yeah,
House to the
what would the distance be from?
I
I don't know if you'd
You want
measure.
to tell us real quick?
37 feet, roughly. As the crow flies, is that you meant?
Not that you would pull a truck back there for anything, but for instance, if you're doing landscaping, you pull through there with a trailer or whatever. It's just like you're trying to squeeze, and there's more so to, like I said, utilize the whole corner there. We could.
Just FYI, it's about 19 feet north. Straight.
Yep.
So the more you would bring it towards the existing house, the probably the tougher it is to
Is
maneuver
your,
in.
have you talked to your neighbor?
He's here.
Okay,
I think last time we tried to do it, he wasn't about the 2 or 3 foot that we were requesting, but 10 foot's kind of, to me, but this is just me, you got plenty of room for whatever, I guess, equipment that comes around. But I mean, that's our opinion, not his.
Any other questions from the board?
What does it need to be marked for fire rating? Is that 20 feet from building to building?
From building to building 10.
Oh, that's what it is. I didn't even know that.
Between buildings, it's 10 off of very shortest you can go off the property line according to building code is 5. But ordinance makes it 20.
I guess I understand the request. I'm staring at the thing back there and that trailer's throwing me off because that's not
Yeah.
there, so.
That's gone, yeah.
Here's his picture That's the building that's gonna move to there. And then that's the new one, and they're gonna trailer. Too bad it's snowing. Can't see it as well.
Oh, cause the.
The
there,
pictures,
oh, okay.
yep.
Like North Pole.
That big more sense. That's the one that's like 2 feet off the property or whatever it was. Sliding down.
Yep.
That one's on skids, so that one's gonna move
Mhm.
easy, and then the other one gets permanently back.
You think, Doug?
And another thing is where that yellow rectangle is, like you can see the drive. If we do this, if it would work, okay, pass, we would just more or less tie the driveway into that, you know?
Mhm.
I guess since then we poured concrete for like, I guess the approach part of it, but
Approach for the house.
yeah.
And you would likely have an approach for that garage as well?
I think we're gonna pour the whole thing, the whole drive.
Okay.
It's just a mess, so. If there's a stone road for the county, we'd probably leave it, but since it's asphalt.
Any other questions from the board?
Any calls or letters? Anyone from the audience wanting to speak for or against? Sure. Name and address?
Don and Linda Brown. I'm at 1616 West, 550 North. My only question is, Les, do you propose any entrance doors on the east side of either of those buildings, like an overhead door that you're gonna be?
No, so for the yellow one is, there's just gonna be 3 garage doors and then 1 man door.
That'll be facing
They're gonna,
west,
yes,
Face the road.
yes, so they face
No
west,
overhead doors facing east.
none.
0,
Right,
none,
okay.
nothing. There might be a window if any.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
So have you already moved that small building?
No,
we were waiting
Still
on,
there?
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Ready for finding of facts?
Would you guys have a tile accessible that you could tie into that either goes to your pond or downspouts for your house that you could tie into
Yes.
the east side at least? Okay.
For both buildings, correct?
Sorry, what?
For both buildings?
Yes, yep.
Okay. We'll go through this twice, keep in mind. So question number 1, approval will or will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because.
Which one are we doing? We can do the yellow square, the square.
Which
I
one
mean, the
was-
orange one, the one that's behind the house.
Yes.
That one's first.
The
I
orange-
think that's first on the list. so
That's what I'm
We'll just do
saying.
the orange one.
Will,
No, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Yeah, we didn't answer
yeah,
the
okay.
question.
Will not. It's gonna be, new construction. The neighbor is, okay with him building within 10 foot of the property line. And, they're gonna direct the water from the roofs, down to a tile.
All agree?
Agree.
Question number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the development standards variance will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because.
Will not. We won't have any runoff from roof and no doors will be facing north or east.
All agree?
Agree.
Question number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will or will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
I'd say will, it starts to. This is the orange square.
Yes. it seems like it would hamper
It won't
the maneuvering for landscaping.
landscape.
That kind of thing.
I would agree with that.
Out the house much. Agree?
Agreed.
Question number 4, if granted, the board prescribes the following conditions.
As built,
As built,
Did you want to put the downspout thing on there like you normally do,
yeah,
the request?
yes.
I'm
I
just
thought
asking.
we had that, but I guess not. Yeah. That all the water is directed to a field tile or a tile. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that one is approved. Question number 1, this is for the yellow rectangle. Approval will or not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because.
Will not, surface water will be caught and no doors or access points will be going from the north and east.
All agree?
Agreed.
Question number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the development standards variance will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because.
It will not. All water is directed away from adjacent property. And he has maintained 10 foot, which should provide ample access for farming.
All agree?
Agreed.
Question number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will or will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
I'll say it will. This makes it more convenient. The way he would come in from his driveway and also to get to the backside of the house and the other building.
All agree?
Agree.
Question number 4, if granted, the board prescribes the following conditions.
As submitted no closer than 10 foot to either property line.
And that would be the eaves. Correct?
It actually can be the foundation, if it's only 1 foot eve, if it's a 1 foot overhang or less.
It can be the foundation.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you. How long do I got before I gotta have that? Now that I'm making money.
You can get a permit whenever you want.
Okay, thanks.
The next application for development standard variance DSV 2026 04 filed by Lauren Krukeberg, represented by Jacob Byler at 6410 North, 400 West. They are applying in order to construct an outbuilding in DNR flood fringe with a base floor height being built at base flood elevation. Per county land use ordinance, section 3-5-1B2 and 3-6-1, the base floor of a structure built in DNR flood fringe must be 2 feet above base flood elevation. The land is located in section 35 of Preble Township. Name and, are you the, Krugerberg?
I'm Jacob Byler, the
You're- okay.
contractor, and this is Lauren Krugenberg,
Okay,
the owner.
gotcha.
We would like to, build, at base flood elevation because, we're already building it up about 16 inches from the ground level. The road or the street that you see would be about 13 inches above the street with the floor height of the new structure. That blue square is a structure that was removed, and so that they could have this structure put up, and that the floor height between the blue and the yellow, I believe we're up about 18 inches from where that was.
And this will just be a garage, not a living structure.
Will there be any, like a restroom out there or water or,
No plumbing.
okay. cement slab.
No animals.
How long have you owned the residence?
Almost 6 years.
Have you ever had
I've never
issue with
even-
water?
I've never even seen water come to the top of the creek. I think this is like, that kind of flood is like a rare occurrence.
Hey, Mark, we have to file all variances with DNR. I thought one was done for a church some time ago.
We've done a couple that were at DFE.
And have you ever gotten any blowback from DNR about that? Have they looked at this? I mean, is this one you have to route to them before construction for any,
Nope.
under the ordinance? Okay.
We have to let them know that we did one, but the only time I get them involved is which nobody's ever done this, is try and build in floodway versus flood fringe.
Yeah,
Then obviously they're fully involved because it's permitted through them.
right.
I've never contacted them prior to
Okay.
doing this.
Is any of this in floodway?
No. He's been working with me. He asked questions and, if he could have gotten the floor 2 foot higher than BFE, I could have gave him a permit. He wouldn't have come in here. But as he just stated, he's already a foot plus higher than the street.
Be 37 inches.
Yeah, you'd be another 2 feet higher than that yet. So very odd. And, I said, if you could at least ask for BFE, we've done a few before, where people have replaced a building or put a building in this thing and the height was crazy if they went 2 foot. I know we've never granted one below BFE, but we have done at. So oddly enough, the federal government has rules for FEMA and floodways, and you can actually build outbuildings at BFE. Houses have to be 2 foot high. Indiana ramped up their rules and adopted 2 foot for everything. So I don't think this is in my opinion, a big ask because it's allowed in other places. Indiana just decided to say 2 foot for all.
I'll agree with you on that, Mark, on the merits of it. I just worry about DNR, not about these folks.
Right.
But they do audits of communities. And, I think one of the things they would look at is I think they require openings in buildings if you're gonna be below BFE. I don't know about at it. So, if they get wiggy about hydrostatic pressure and all that, I just,
In 13 years, I haven't had an issue. Let's just
Okay,
say it that way.
that's good, because they have them all the time in Fort Wayne,
Right.
and they are so far into their business that it's not even funny.
So that being said, I guess there's two things to ask. One is, does there need to be, if there is an audit, does there need to be a tile for it to flow water? And two, if we do approve this, what happens to the owner of it if it does have an audit and they put that as a red flag?
I don't know what DNR what DNR and FEMA like to do is make it hard on Mark and not the individuals, okay? I don't,
We just wanna make sure we don't approve something and it comes back.
yeah,
Okay.
Unless you know something I don't, it doesn't do that.
Okay.
The only thing that happens is obviously if it's in FEMA floodplain, which this actually is just DNR.
it's just DNR. Okay, that's important for the
Yeah.
record, I think.
Yeah, and, I'm gonna just make sure I didn't just fib to anybody here, but if I take DNR off, FEMA's still on and you see nothing there.
Gotcha.
FEMA's who charges you insurance. If you have a loan on something, that's not even gonna happen here because they're not, FEMA doesn't call that floodplain.
So she's not gonna have to buy flood insurance, okay?
No. It's a longer discussion, but it makes no sense that the flood maps don't match. either it is a flood problem or it isn't. And if FEMA says it isn't, then how can DNR say it is? Well,
It seems the best available evidence for Adams County is some of the worst I've seen.
it's bad.
Yeah,
I just think we're a small county that
They
they
like-
haven't done many studies.
in Allen, they kind of line up. Sorta, kind of, sorta, but in this, there was the animal control place.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Any calls or letters? Anyone from the audience wish to speak for or against? We will go to finding of fact. Question number 1. Approval will or will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because?
Will not. It's an outbuilding, no one is living there. If perchance it would flood, it's not gonna, there's no safety issues.
All agree? Agree. Question number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the development standards variance will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because?
Well, no, I'm just gonna say will not be affected. Because again, it's an outbuilding and, if there's perchance of any type of flood, it's not gonna affect other neighbors or anybody else.
Agree. Question number 3, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will or will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
It will, is BFE is 37 inches above street level. It wouldn't make it very difficult to get in and out of that building.
And I think also that it's not in the flood zone on the FEMA map it's not gonna carry the day on a variance, but it's part of it.
I would concur.
Agreed. Question number 4, if granted, the board prescribes the following conditions.
Make a motion to accept.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Another application for development standard variance DSV 2026 05 filed by St. Peter Lutheran Church at 10919 North, 100 East. They are applying in order to construct an outbuilding that would be 90 feet from the center of the road. Per county land use ordinance, section 2-11-5-A, a structure must be 110 feet from the center of the road. The land is located in section 11 of Root Township. Name?
Benjamin Franz.
Sam Brown.
So, we're not constructing a new building. We are moving an existing building and pouring a new foundation up.
And moving it 30 feet to the south.
And it's just open, right?
It's like a picnic building. It closes up.
Yeah, windows that fold down into like a serving counter.
So it's already 90 feet, right? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just want to move it straight south, approximately 30 feet.
Can I ask why?
Because eventually we want to add an additional building on the north side, a open-sided pavilion.
Okay.
And we've already installed a new driveway for the next section of cemetery.
we're running out of room.
And you plan on keeping all the trees that are there and
The old trees were removed and we've since planted new ones.
I moved 18. There's walnut, hickory, several different types of oak, sugar maple, and they average about that size right now.
Should have moved more.
Yeah, there's more coming in, yeah, yeah. I wanna get some persimmon and different variety,
You're moving trees in or moving trees out?
move it in.
Moving in.
We took all this junk silver maple out. And I've been for the past, 4 years transplanting trees in there. So trying to make something for the church and youth. They could have ice cream socials out there again and when we got a permit for the new pavilion, you could have family reunions out there, whatnot. Church parties, church, whatever.
Any other questions? Any calls or letters? Any comments from the audience? Any facts?
I just, when I put the new pavilion up on there,
Oh, okay.
they have that permit.
We'll invite you to free ice cream when we get it done.
All right.
We cannot be bribed. Question number one. Approval will or will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because?
Will not, be further back than where it was sitting previously.
I'll agree. Question number two, the land, the use of the value of the area adjacent to the property included in the development standards variance will or will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because?
Will not, it's the same building, just different location.
I'll agree. Question number three, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will or will not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
They wouldn't be able to do their property improvement with that building.
Agree. Question number four, if granted, the board prescribes the following conditions, if any.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from last week.
Second.
Favor?
I think I'd want you to close the BZA hearing and just open it for the unsafe building hearing authority, which you also are.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Favor?
All right.
All right, we have one item on an agenda tonight for the BZA sitting as the unsafe building hearing authority. I just think it's important to establish a default amount that when we have an unsafe building situation, that you can charge these people that let their properties go to pot. The reason we do that, the statute allows you to establish an average amount of costs that you would incur, like we did with Miss Teeple when you had to have her building taken down. There are certain costs that come to the county. You have to get title searches. You end up doing 2 of those in most cases. And Mark has recording fees when he has to record his orders and the hearing board's decision. Those costs add up. We're not allowed to recoup attorney's fees. So I set it at $500 and I would like the unsafe building hearing authority to approve that. It can be adjusted as we bring matters before you, but I want to establish the default.
I'd make a motion that we adopt the $500 as set fee. Second it.
Aye.
Thank you.
While we're in this portion of this, just FYI, I have sent 2 letters for 2 new buildings that have problems. I don't know where they'll end up. One is in Lund Grove and could be repaired. Don't know if they'll choose to. And one is northeast of, Decatur. Can't remember what road exactly, either 700, 900. And, it's a dilapidated building that not repairable. And, just sent those letters out. We'll see what kind of responses we get.
If
Do
he
the
doesn't,
landowners have to pay for the demo?
well, eventually, you know, we, in the Teeple issue, we totaled all that up and filed, a request to the county auditor to add that to the tax bill. And, you know, if the property owner doesn't pay that, then, you know, it could go to tax sale, and that's part of the minimum bid then on the property. The idea is to make the county whole at that point, and the county puts that money in the unsafe building fund to be used for other things then as that fund grows.
Is that put in as a lump sum, or is it spread out?
I don't know how the auditor will do that, if they'll do it in 2 installments like they do the regular taxes. I think it'll be a lump sum, but they haven't published the tax bill yet. There are other ways you can collect. We could just, you know, do a collection proceeding. It kind of depends on who you're dealing with and how much time you want to put into it for them just not to do it. And that's what we were faced with this other one.
So the excavator gets paid
Yes,
by the county?
the county
And then the
eats
county
it.
tries to
Yep.
recoup it?
Yep.
They started I forget how long ago, but they've created a fund for this. It's from tax money, just like any budget item for any department that we have. And, so you can get things done and paid for, and then hopefully some point in life you get paid back.
How long do the recipients have from the time they receive a letter or time it's mailed to progress forward?
Well, to pay the bill or to, oh my God.
Till it starts going down the road in front of us.
My new papers I sent out, I just gave them, so at this point, I asked both of them, I didn't say you gotta do this or do that. Cause I'd like to get into the buildings a little bit to say more. I know what I'm dealing with, but to officially, so my first initial contact is stating why they're being contacted. And then I gave them, I think, 30 days to give me a call to set up a time to meet them at the house or the building. And we will have a discussion. And at that point, on what they tell me, you know, I want to give, you don't want to just jump right to that, obviously. And this was 2 years. So you want to see what their answer will be. You know, if they look at the one that's up north and go, yeah, I see this, there's no hope here. I'll get an excavator in the next 90 days and we'll get that down, cleaned up. Or he'll say, who knows? And then the house in Lynn Grove is actually an old church. It's on 2 lots. It absolutely could be salvaged, but it has got broken out windows, open doors, 3-foot of water in the basement. At this point, any child playing in that neighborhood could drown, or it's not electrocuted because there's no power to the building. But you could have somebody drown in there that's horsing around.
Is it an absent landowner? They don't live around here?
No, he lives, he lives in Adams County.
Okay.
And I did contact him. He has some health issues. He apparently fell off from scaffolding and can't walk anymore. And he called and he said he was going to get a hold of his son and line up. I haven't heard back yet. So his son could meet me to walk through it. I could see from walking up to the windows and looking at it through the broken windows that I could see the water down the basement because it's a big open stairway. Because, like I say, it wasn't a house originally. I think they had classrooms down there probably, and mold everywhere because of that on the drywall. They started putting walls up inside the old sanctuary to make it into a home, and it's just a drywall falling off walls, ceilings, insulation collapsing, spot in the roof that's leaking. No power hooked up.
I think we could issue an order to at least, if they walk through with you, to board it up. So, you know, that's a possibility.
To get it at least, so it's safe and nobody can get hurt.
Right.
Need to make a motion to adjourn.
But-
Keep it on the mailbox.
This is your appointment.
Yeah. I guess I'd be
Well,
sitting
you don't
there.
You don't have an email if you
That
don't.
one I rolled down there.
That's
makes
where I'm
it
like,
look
yeah, I know
like
I
I
know
would
which
test
information.
that.
Vacation while you still can.
Ben Rediger.
Oh.
Here's your
Oh, before
appointment paperwork.
plan.
It don't make any difference what time of the year it is. I think you're, you should be covering a pipe fill.
So I gave you guys new binders. It has all the updates of the last few. Why are we green?
I'll get the old one back to you.
I don't.
I
Doesn't matter.
can't sign this, I don't have it.
Oh. Hey.
There.
Virtual online is game from 27 degrees.
Audio stream is 0 right now.
Celsius.
You know what? I've been, you guys don't have to. I have trouble concentrating.
Don't do that.
I'm sitting there pretty soon. I'm doing.
I'm
bad. Nice woman's got with
I'll
us.
bring it black.
It's
natural.
At least from what I understand.
We won't repeat that, folks.
Phil Licker.
These are the two.
Oh, yeah, I think that was,
That
That is new.
yeah, she requested also, but I.
Oh, no.
Bethany.
Because on the last one, we waited through all the BZA stuff to have the 5 minute, since they paid their fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got no show twice. I don't know if it's working.
Well, they're not gonna show. It's a done deal.
Yeah, but I gotta stop and fix myself.
Money to apply.
Kind of what they were thinking, yeah.
All right, the meeting room will come to order here for the Adams County Plan Commission. We're starting at 7:07. Thank you for everyone coming tonight. We think we got the technology going. That's what we're waiting on to get it recorded. Soon, hope for the best. With that, this is our first meeting officially of the year. We didn't have a January meeting, so we want to welcome new members on board. We have Phil Eicher joining us, and then Gene Whitty. We have Bob Reef going off and Mitch Ballman off also, so they're filling those spots. So appreciate that. With that, we do have people in the audience, so why don't we start over here with Doug and just introduce yourself, board.
Doug Bowden, Commissioner.
Phil Eicher, board member.
Paul Rumpel, appointed.
Fred Velez, County Council.
Doug Dartman appointed, vice chairman.
Brad Colhagen, the Purdue Extension A&R educator and currently the chair on here by state statute.
Mark Lynn, plan director.
Megan Paulbush, Assistant Plan Director.
Pat Hess, legal counsel.
Gene Whitty, appointed.
All right, thank you. So we are a nine-member board, and so we do have quorum tonight, and 5 people, so we're good there. First thing on the agenda, just a couple things before we get to the hearings. Being the first meeting, we have to have a reorganization of the Plan Commission here. So we need to come up with a chair president, vice president, and the secretary. We've been just having staff do that with Megan. She's been doing a good job with that. So we'll kind of keep that like that. So
Move to keep it the same.
Second.
it is okay to change leadership.
Oh, no, leaders are great.
All right,
You're doing a great
so
job.
we have a motion by Paul okay, got a second. So the current situation is Brad is chair and Doug Hartman is vice president. So
Staff and legal counsel.
that's that legal counsel. Yes, absolutely. They're on board too. All right. So with that, we'll, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed. You're still with it. Okay. All right, we got you. All right, so it is unanimous. Keep the officers the same then. All right, then we typically we need to appoint a member to the BZA board. Currently we have 2 people. Doug is currently doing that. So we need to appoint another BZA member.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Phil Eicher as.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any other nominations? Seeing none. All those in favor of putting Phil Eicher on the BZA board, please signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed? Motion passes.
So, okay, Doug, you're still on, so we have 2 now?
We have to, correct.
Okay.
So you're already on it too, aren't you?
What's that?
You're already on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're supposed to have 2 by statute, so we made a correction.
Okay.
Okay, good clarification there. All right.
Now we do, I guess, Pat, does that need to come through the auditor's office for the appointment signed or anything?
No, these are plan commission appointments.
Okay.
And then another thing we've need to do is an appointment of the design committee members. Generally that Mark and Megan attend those meetings on behalf of the directors, plan commission. And then we have 3 committee members for that design committee. Generally they have been from the highway department. So Brad Yoder is currently there. Surveyor's office sends a representative, Mike Whirling. And then I have been going on behalf of plan commission to that. So those are our 3 current people. So we
need to appoint and approve those committee members to continue.
I move that, we appoint Brad Folligan, Brad Yoder, and Mike Worley to
Second.
the, design committee of the plan commission.
All right.
And Megan, if in the minutes, if you could just reference that that's also considered the plat committee, at least under, because that's how it's referred to in the statute.
Good clarification there. Yes, I've heard it both ways. So yeah, okay, plaid committee, design committee. All right. So with that, we had a motion by Doug, seconded by Paul, to keep those three members the same. All those, please, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, so it carries unanimously again. Motion passes. All right, we're up to the hearings here. We have two this evening. The first one, if you weren't here last meeting, basically, this was on the agenda last meeting. It was the only hearing we had. It was an application for a commercial dog breeding facility filed by L&R Schwartz Kennels, Leander and Rebecca Schwartz. And they were wanting to operate a commercial dog breeding facility that will house 15 unaltered female dogs. They went to BZA requesting a variance for the distance to the adjoining neighbors with the BZA right before our meeting. And the BZA meeting, they actually denied their request. And so it came to us last time, December. Yeah, I'm off a month. Yes, December it was. Yes, I just thought of that. Like I said that wrong. So it was December meeting, and they had left the meeting, and so we kind of basically tabled that because they were not here. And so now we're with rules and procedure. Really weren't here to act on it, so we wanted to put it on the agenda again for tonight if they were here and act. Did you have anything else?
You have to do it that way. I mean, the record shows that they're not here again. And the rules, your rules of procedure state that if a petitioner misses 2 consecutive hearings, the plan commission can vote then with a motion to dismiss it for failure to appear. Lack of prosecution actually is the term.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Paul made the motion and then Doug made the second here. Basically dismissed this because they are not in attendance again. And granted, they were denied, like I say, by BZA anyway. So it is probably challenging to accept that if BZA denied it anyway. So with that, all those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. All those opposed, it again passes unanimously. All good there?
Yep, we're good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, next hearing. Cranking through here is, I gotta play catch up. Okay. Yeah, down here. Okay, the next one is an application for development plan filed by Ish Seeds at 4107 West, 100 South. They're wanting to construct an addition that will be approximately 23,820 square feet. The land is located in section 2 of French Township. And I know they went to the BZA meeting before us. No, they didn't? Okay.
This is the only thing we gotta do.
All right.
We're done.
You were here. They were here. I thought maybe they did. Okay. All right. So will you come up and explain to us, please state your name for the record and name and your address before you speak there if you want, for the record. And then
Residence address or the application address?
Doesn't matter, just wherever you get mail.
Okay. Shane Fichter, resident at 5939 West 100 North, Decatur, Indiana.
Blair Gerber, 4107 West 100 South,
Bluffton, Indiana.
Okay, yes. Can you just roughly explain kind of what you're doing to us? I know we have the stuff in front of us. but-
Yeah, so we were looking to add on to our existing warehousing. And what made logical sense would be to add on to the north by connecting the warehouses. That way we would have access to our facility and to our docks. And by doing so, we obviously are creating a larger space, which we went through the process of getting a state construction design release and getting that approved. The other aspect of that was getting the surveying to be redone for water drainage. So we did utilize sour surveying out of Fort Wayne. And basically the conclusion they came to was the existing retention we had wouldn't quite be enough for the addition of the excess runoff. So we submitted the proposal of what they have. And in essence, all we would be required to do is to lower the elevation of our drive to allow some water to cross the drive and enter another part of our field to be held before it goes into drainage. And the point of that would be in essence that we wouldn't be flooding 100 South. So we have that proposal that we submitted, and I guess our goal would be to get that approved.
Where is the existing retention area?
So looking at that map that is up there, basically where the X is located to the west side of the drive, that is a retention area. That is a recessed area, that whole length of the driveway. And on the other side of the driveway is an alpha field. Yep, that's the existing retention there.
Yep.
And on the other side of that driveway is an alfalfa field where the elevation is lower also. So basically, we just need to have a way to get the water to flow across that drive.
On the big easel. So they never, we asked and requested a digital copy so we could send you something in the email or print it off. We didn't get one. We do have some big copies. I'm gonna speak like I'm Mike Whirling right now because he was very, very sick today. That's why he's not here. He called me. He did his calculations. There was some, a book that came with it that, talks about the calculations and then obviously the drawing. And the only thing he wanted to note is he thinks it ought to be approved. There's two sets of retention. So the new building's back here, road's here, and there's all this, the green and the yellow. But there's a little bit of detention and some water gonna be going this way that will hit here. He's happy with all the calculations, start there. But some of this detention is on the 2.09 acres, which is somebody else's property and could be sold down the road. He thinks there should be some sort of legal easement. I think he talked to you about it. Just a legal easement of some sort that doesn't allow a different owner to go, hey, I want to fill that in. So that doesn't change. That's the only request he had. He said if he was here, he'd make a motion to pass it with the stipulation we get some sort of legal document that protects that area.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that conversation has been started with Baumgartners to do a drainage easement in essence.
So I'm sorry I didn't have one in your packet. So that's the owner of that 2 acres.
Which is Blair.
It'd be myself.
Oh, you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not an issue today, but I just want to make sure it's never an issue. That's the only reason for that. All right, I'm not Mike anymore.
So they're not there later.
Are you gonna have your loadout doors on just the one drive, or are you gonna have some loadout on the east side of the building too?
Currently the dock for like van trailers and whatnot would be only on the east side like it currently is. We're not adding any additional docks.
Of the existing warehouse, you drop yeah. You can see that, yep, right there. That is our existing dock
Your dock
space.
area?
Yep.
I just noticed the drive came all the way up to the new building and
So the drive, we did add, and I think the drawings show the new drive. We did have to add drives to the west. I'm sorry, go back down south and to the west. The drawing shows the new drive over there, and that's just to access
Drop it
the
down, Mark.
dump area for the bins.
The airway,
Where do you want?
there, right there. So I see the new drive goes to the west edge of the new warehouse.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then on the west side of the bins as well.
Yep. So right where Brad's pin is there, down to the little, yep, the drive goes where the cursor is.
Yep.
There's a new drive that goes around there.
Is there? there's a door.
Nope, it's not for access to that building. It's strictly for hopper bottoms to make the loop around there and dump into those grain bins.
Nice operation. The first building, this real tall thing right here. There's some stuff going on in there.
Good,
I don't
good
understand. There's seeds flying around in a big hurry.
Seed treatment, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you keep a really nice place and clean and things like that. So, yeah, you're off the road. So we always talk about driveways, turnarounds and things like that. So you got that taken care of. I mean, the only thing we sometimes mention being a rural like this, but so far you don't have any of that extreme lighting going on out there. So,
Right.
well, it's just,
And this addition would not change any of that. Yeah, strictly warehouse space.
Will you be putting a drive around the new building?
We will not.
So if you ever make another addition, then the retention thing would have to be addressed.
More than likely. I don't know what the regulations would show at that point. We are still operating under ag. It's not a commercial property, which I'm not 100% clear on how that actually affects us and requiring a drainage survey at this point. So I guess that would probably depend at that time what regulations would stipulate.
If you're already on the verge of not enough retention, so any addition would probably require.
More than likely,
Yeah.
yes.
any other questions or? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Subject to Mike Worling's recommendations.
With the stipulation that Mr. Baumgartner will finish his legal work
Yep.
on the
Correct.
neighbor situation.
Second.
Who was first? Fred, yes, so there is a main motion to accept the Ish development plan made by Fred, seconded by Paul, is amenable, debatable, requires a majority vote. Any more discussion before we vote on the matter? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. And those opposed? All right, motion passes 6-0. You are approved.
Done.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All right, minutes from the last meeting, any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, they're going to stand approved as emailed or sent out in your packet, whatever one you got printed out, okay? Other business, the only thing is kind of out there. I had two things here, but one thing was Adams County Land Use Comprehensive Plan. If you remember the last couple meetings, we kind of brought this up. We kind of said we want to wait it on the commissioner's vision plan, see what that looked like and where it was going. I don't know what you guys had to add. You want me to continue? Okay.
I think we just need to discuss how many pages or chapters we want to look at and be ready to talk about. And it's not like we're gonna have a long discussion. We just basically need, you guys need to decide which pages or chapters you want to look at and tell us by email or whatever, and then our next meeting, we can talk about anything. And if there's no changes, there's no changes. You know, if some of it's gonna look fine, you're not gonna probably change anything. Then there's gonna be some things we're gonna wanna tweak, add. And we just need to know what that is.
Yeah, and I've assured Steve that we would, it is time, every 5 years, we should review it at least and look at it and say it's updated. I know Mike Whirling has some things to add. I have not got those, but I know he said he has some things to kind of add to it. The only thing that Steve has communicated to me, and I'll just kind of throw this out there, because we were back and forth on emails. I know it seemed like in the first part, if you know, he did come to a meeting last year and kind of tell us if we wanted American Structure Point, they kind of were the third party doing this vision committee. And I know he had high hopes of them jumping on this and helping us redraft and relook at our comprehensive plan. Since that time has passed, I know when I interviewed with him, I told him that, and I said, hey, you bring it, we'll look at it, whatever. Well, there's been some emails exchanged. I'll just let you know, in American Structure Point, I know Mark and I have always looked at this. You can spend thousands. I mean, I'm talking $300,000, $400,000 to have someone else kind of look at your comprehensive plan and try to update it. But American Structure Point has kind of said no, kind of backed off on helping us on that deal. But Steve sounds like, and I can read this different stuff. We were going back and forth. He does have $25,000 to use in ARPA funds. That is ARPA. Okay. And he needs to use that in 2026 at some times. And so he is willing. We had a bunch of email chains here with American Structure Point. They said for $25,000, they would do a compliance review. I don't know that that's much, but what I get out of it is it's a compliance review to make sure we at least have the current state requirements. And it's updated according to the state regulations. They would do that for $25,000.
Can we pay our legal counsel to do that instead?
The state requirements are
It's not necessary.
essentially in the realm of, when you do a comprehensive plan, you may look at this. But in my memory, it doesn't say you shall include a chapter on this or that. And so if they're just gonna say, look at it and compare it to, I can see it in my mind. I didn't bring my statute on that section, not knowing, but there's like 6 to 10 items. That's a lot of money to say you either do or don't.
Well, we won't need that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say
I
that
will
right
pass that
now.
on. I got to get back to Steve. I told him I would bring this up.
You're talking about Steve Bailey, right?
Steve Bailey, yes. Yeah.
And I don't know where we find this, and maybe that 25 could be used for that. I don't know. What would be nice is when we are done, that we could give it to some human that could reformat it. It looks like that's been typed from 1979.
Yeah.
And somebody reformat it, have it printed, binded, whatever, and done. And maybe that 25 could be spent on a company that could produce something for us. Take what our corrections, make sure they all line up right and page number it. And I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but that would make more sense to me.
Okay.
Well, I think too, I agree with you on that, Mark. It's nice to have the comprehensive land use policy plan in your notebook,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
but that plan ought to be distributed
Yeah.
other areas.
Right.
Yep.
So I think Mark's idea is great, Fred. I mean, $25,000 to identify 6 items, they can go somewhere else and get that.
I don't think they really want to do it.
I'll identify them for you. That.
Does
Yeah.
Steve want the board's consensus on that? Because we can just go through and go yes, no, and that's what Steve wants.
I'm pretty sure like it doesn't need to come to a vote. I mean, yeah, I just, in there, you were on, well, I think I forwarded this
It's just
stuff
a
to you.
discussion, what could
Yeah, it was
happen,
more of a
or-
discussion. I think he just said like, yeah, he doesn't think they came back and said like, to really do a full review would be, depending on how much public input and all this stuff, they were wanting over $100,000 for sure and things like that. So
I'll agree with Mark. It's not worth it.
I know that's what we have discussed in the past, but so I agreed to Steve, no matter if this thing goes forward or not, I will relay that back to him about, like I say, maybe we can use some of that money for that type of stuff. I'll relay that back to him.
In their defense, they are used to being hired by a community to do a comprehensive land use plan. They start from ground zero. They have public meetings. It's like, what are your concerns, or what do you perceive as threats? What are your benefits of the community? They compile all that information, then they start drafting general land use guide policies, like where industrial is appropriate and where it's not, and things like that. And they do a good job on that. That what you were asking them to do is like, we're not set up for that. And I think that's why they quoted a high price, because they know it's not something that they've already invented.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
I think tonight, the only thing we need consensus on is how many pages you want to talk about next time.
Well, my question is, Steve Bailey's initiative, what's the firm again that's doing the county?
American Structure Point.
Okay. Do we have to, why do we have to wait on completion of that before we review changes of this?
We don't.
We kind of did at that time because we kind of said if that, again, I think Steve had in mind that these guys were gonna help us on this land use. Cause you were at the county address, he actually brought that up and said, land use is not done because that's done by plan commission. We haven't done anything with that yet, but he still wants us to update that.
Well, I think we ought to start moving forward
We
with
can,
looking
and
at
we-
revisions, updates, discussions.
Yes. Yeah, this was.
And then Mark, once this board makes some final recommendations and approves it, then I think having this in its own what am I looking for?
Well, it's its own binder, you know, we can get it.
Yeah. And get it out there, because these things have a tendency to draw dust somewhere if you're not careful.
Well,
And
it
we
was
need
never,
to-
it was
we need to
never in
keep
your
it-
binders till just a few years ago.
What?
It was never in these binders till a few years ago.
I know.
I was like,
Yeah.
we talked about it and
Yeah, you look for a I can remember someone asked for a comprehensive land use plan. I didn't know where it was.
No, I think I was here 25 years ago, and I think my first copy I have up there was just typed, it was typed up actually, and just kind of ran off, copied and
So I think they get this out there, and, if I get it, it's gonna stay right there in my desk where I can see it.
I guess there is, if it matters, there are 5 goals to the comprehensive plan. So if you wanted to do
A goal a month.
goal a month at this point, depending on the meeting, I guess, you guys, I mean,
and sometimes it could go real long.
if we got a
depends.
long meeting or something, yeah, we can kind
Maybe
of.
push it off a month.
Yeah.
And do we want to have meetings even if there's no public hearings that are submitted?
There, I would say yes. That'd be the best time to do it.
Especially if we
Yeah.
want to use the 25,000 for
That'd be the best time to do it.
2026. Yeah,
Yeah.
Until we get that done.
but just plan on the
So
next
we'll
basically
have a
5
mee's
months at
every,
least.
every month till that's
done.
Do we
For
plan
sure.
on doing one unit? Tackle the first unit, once we're done with it, go to the second, once we agree upon it?
I guess I would say if we just have a separate meeting, I feel like we could maybe do 1 or 2 at a time, I guess, depending on.
You have to be flexible, because if you get to section 4 and it necessitates changes back to section 1, you may have to do that.
Or if we get in the nitty gritty and one paragraph takes us an hour to get through versus.
Sure, yeah, I think be ready, I mean, you probably should look at the entire thing anyway to see what it all is there, I guess, and relook at it. I mean, we did bring it up the last couple, in the spring, I guess we did. kind of just-
Legal counsel, once this board goes through the 5 areas that need updated and we get all that done, this board makes approval, does that then go to the commissioners for
Yeah,
final?
it's just a recommendation, and then the commissioners, it's not adopted by an ordinance, but it's adopted by a resolution.
Okay.
So one thing to keep in mind too, I know 85% of the comprehensive plan is on target. It has agricultural as the center. Keep in mind, this was done in 96 and all the advancements that have happened. So we have cell phone towers, we have an ordinance now with wind and solar that are not even mentioned in the comprehensive plan. So not only look at this from, yeah, this looks good, but it's also, we also have to address what's happened in the last 30 years from a technological standpoint. We now have the regional sewer district going through. That's affecting how we're doing our zonings because now we have more, if there is more development right outside city limits, but it's still our jurisdiction. So just keep those things in mind of, this hasn't been done for 30 years.
All those things need added, and we just had to figure out, A, where to add them and what to say about them.
Right.
And also keep in mind that a comp plan is not an ordinance, so you shouldn't have in a comp plan. Minimum size for a confined feeding operation is 10 acres. No, it should be, the county should continually update its ordinance to make sure it's responsive to the current development issues with confined feeding something like that.
The county plan just references the ordinance.
Yes,
Broad strokes.
Yep.
right,
Yeah.
right, and
And
the
then-
comp plan drills it down. Or the ordinances drill it
Ordinances, the
down.
nitty
Yeah,
gritty.
Yep, yep.
Right.
Thank
And we
you.
need to make sure some of the issues we've had in our ordinance are addressed or have a stroke in the
Yeah, I think so.
comprehensive. They've
Yeah,
they have to tie together or work together.
right.
Right.
And on the comprehensive, it's just generalizations.
Yeah, we could certainly tighten up some of the policies in the comp plan that justify what you've already done in your ordinance.
Yeah, because in the past, when we've had some discussions about this, and this, it also, it was always referenced back, does it match up with the county comprehensive plan? And that's the real value of this.
Yeah. It is, and you know, a comp plan can really be a friend to this board on those tough
Yeah.
decisions that come every now and again.
We never have tough decisions.
I just make a comment to support that. In all the meetings I've sat into over the years, and years back when we reviewed the comprehensive plan as a group, I sat on it with Soil and Water at that time, but if you find yourself writing ordinances to create or solve issues that come up, then your plan should probably have addressed it, or it needs to be updated ahead of, you know, so you're not continually writing ordinances to solve problems. I guess that's kind of what I've learned through the whole thing of planning.
Yep.
So I think, if we have an item on an agenda, like we had one tonight that was quick, I think we could certainly address at least one portion. And if we don't have anyone on the agenda, just to keep this thing moving, especially before Paul gets busy.
I know it's summertime and things, yeah, we can crank through one or two. The only thing, if we don't have any hearings, the next meeting would be the 19th, which is before spring break, is most people gonna be here.
Well,
I go nowhere.
Go nowhere.
I don't either.
All right.
I don't
Just
anymore.
check in. I hate to have half the board gone or something.
And honestly, I would have, if we're gonna do this and people are gonna come up with ideas and read the books, send us an email. It would be great to have, you know, compiled emails that before we get to the meeting, we can say, here's the thoughts that everybody already had. So you're kind of ready, you know, when you just come in cold and then everybody's bringing up all these things, it'd be really handy if you actually knew even just a few days before the meeting, because if it's an email, we can.
Yeah, and send it to staff. Don't do the whole plan commission, because then you run into the open door law issues. So.
Send it to either Mark or I. Make sure I'm on the email if you send it to Mark. Please and thank you.
No, I agree, because you could even go through and start redlining some things and stuff like that, a working draft, so that's good, yeah.
That's good.
All right, anything else on that? Okay, the other thing that I had real quick, I passed out, I know Whirling's been always big on this the last couple of years, is Farm Bureau just put on an ag land use and zoning schools thing here. This one is March 5th. It is virtual in the morning. It is free if you're a Farm Bureau member. I don't know. Mark has said like, or Mike has said like, we're in the office here. We'll watch it. I'm a Farm Bureau member. Anybody else Farm Bureau members? Paul, okay, Doug.
I'm
So-
already signed up.
You already signed up for that. So yeah, some of you are. I just thought I'd let you know that as far as that goes. And if you want to view it, I can probably give you my membership number maybe, and you can get on it for free because there's no sense paying $50, but or come to my office and you can watch it with me or something. So
Or tell them you just buy a membership. It's only what, $5 or $10? So be a Farm Bureau member.
Farm Bureau member and you're good to go. Yeah. So yeah, I can get it. Like I say, I can get you signed on and get you to see it if you want to, but they'll probably update it. I know at the farm show, this Brianna was at the Fort Wayne Farm Show and kind of updated us some things. Data centers is the new big thing. I mean, that's something. No. Well, it's here before whether we like it or not.
I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah. So they talked, and then the manure digesters was the other thing that's kind of out there, I guess. That's what their Farm Bureau's kind of talking about is, I don't know that they're bad, but we probably don't have anything in our ordinances addressing data centers and manure digesters, but that's a new thing that's coming down the pipe, so. Probably should look into those a little bit. So, all right, any other business at all?
It went back to no audio, just.
All right, without seeing no further business, the meeting will be adjourned at 7:43. Thank you all for coming.
I just wanted to